Hi guys. Well, you guessed it, we're back over here at my dad's. He's anxious to get stuff done, and I've got a day or two here, so we are going to work over here for at least today, if not today and tomorrow. So I brought the EXH100 today instead of the TFK. I figured we'd get a little bit of plow mower in. I think this will be really good material for it. We're going to find out. This thing does spool up insanely fast. It mows really good. And we'll show you guys. It's already spooled up. Like, boom, done. Mulcher, but it is a heavy hammer flail mower. This is what this is. Everybody that knows me has some kind of app on their phone that says, you know, that I just turned my camera on 5 minutes ago. I mean, I swear, every single time anymore, I can't start a video without my phone ringing. It's crazy. The only thing that I'd like to see change is see that gap. I don't know, where's the camera looking? So see the gap right there in the door? That needs a rubber flap, which I think I might drill some holes in it or make something. I would like to have a rubber flap, because there's stuff that shoots out in between there. Now when material gets built up on it, you know, it does pretty good, because then it blocks it. But until you get a bunch of junk blocked up on top of that, there was something in there. I don't know what that was, but stump or something. Anyways, stuff likes to shoot out of there. So then if you pick it up and you have the what is in there? There's something in there. I keep pushing it around or something. Anyways, until you get stuff like built up on the top, it'll shoot out of there. But then obviously if you go and if you go and put a rubber flap on it, it wouldn't do that. And then also when you lift it up, obviously most of your stuff kind of falls off of there, so then you don't have any protection anymore. So I'd kind of like to see a rubber flap there, kind of like when I do this. Let's see what it'll do to this little seeder. Now remember, this isn't a mulcher. I mean, it is, but it's a heavy hammer flail. It doesn't have that DCR drum and all that. So you have to figure out, you know, how fast that you can push it. Which honestly, that's not that much less than my TFK. Obviously, you can't do as big a material as I can with the TFK, but man, this thing just spools back up insanely fast. I mean, it's just super fast spool up. So your recovery time is definitely better than the TFK. Get some of this scrub brush up front mowed up so we can pull trees up here in the front. He kind of wants to pull trees where he can. We've got some mowing to do in the back as well, where that fence line was. If you watched the other video, there's a paint can. I think this is kind of a pile of brush right here. Yep. Pretty good movement, or that's a cedar, I guess, that was pushed over. To the end here, or well, not to the end, I'm about through. Kind of made me a tunnel here. I figured I'd show you at least getting through here, and then turn around and kind of see. It's only been maybe an hour and a half since I've gotten here. This guy might be a little big, like down at the bottom. So what I think I'm going to do, and what I've kind of found out, you want to be at least on that rotor, if not behind that rotor, and it takes the material a lot better. I can pull the rest of that out, but let's thin that up a little bit. Through that, the tree's a little big. It's probably, I don't know, 5-6 inches bottom. They don't ever come up in size in video, it seems like, but that's about how big it is. We can at least thin that up a little bit so we can get through there without scratching the machine all up. Got our driveway permit, so now we can get a driveway entrance into here. I don't know why on earth it took so long, but normally I turn those things in and I've got an answer in a couple days, in a week. That's a little crazy. Surprised that at a lot of the videos I put up of this and the TFK, I'm surprised I don't get a lot of the people, you know, kind of hounding me like, you know, you can be faster with a skid loader. Well, that's true in some instances. So I like a mulcher on an excavator for multiple reasons. So you see how far away from the machine I am with the mulcher? What does that mean? That means you're not putting as much mulch and all that stuff inside the machine. You're not right there in it. You're not having to blow filters out at lunchtime. You're not catching your machine on fire. Two, I do a lot of hillside stuff, and I do a lot of land clearing and land thinning, and that's kind of why I bought that 75. Yes, I'd love to have something way big, but half the time I'm thinning trees out. I'm not removing the entire lot. That's why I wanted to get a bigger machine, but I wanted to stay fairly small, zero tail, all that. But that being said, most times I'm thinning trees. I'm not clearing, I'm thinning. So if you think about it, I can get this mulcher in places that you can't fit your skid loader in between trees and whatnot. That's why a lot of times I just take this out. And I mean, I had an OSMA mulcher for the skid loader. I just don't use them that much anymore. I prefer to sit in the excavator anyways. This is a lot more comfortable. I'm not bouncing around and moving the entire time. You know, like when I'm mulching, I'm sitting here. Well, if you ever mulch in a machine, you know, uneven ground and everything else, I mean, you're moving the entire time you're mulching. Forward, back, sideways, turning, hitting trees. You know, you look at all the mulchers and they've got all kinds of bumpers and everything else. Well, I can tell you why. Because you'll run into a tree or bump into something quite a bit. You know, and the likelihood of me doing that with this is kind of slim to none. But, well, there's my little road I just made. Let's track up front here and I'll show you what I got done up here. I just kind of wanted to get something I could see through there so then I can start picking away at in between the trees. And then what I'll do is I'll come in with either this, or if I've got the 75 ready to go by then, we'll just start pulling trees with it. But I brought the bucket today just in case we could do the driveway and stuff, but I got all that mowed. You know, we mowed from, it was out here, you can kind of see. I mowed from there all the way to the tree line there. I mowed that path all the way through there. And if you remember, I kind of mowed from where the bucket is on up there. I haven't gotten that done yet, but I mean, I got a fair amount done. There was a lot of good sized trees in there. I say good size, they were 3 to 4 inches. Anyways, but now I got me a path. Now I'm going to work on this part to the right of me, and I'll kind of clear it out, get all that opened up, and then I'll go to the left and kind of get to the property line and all that, get all that stubble out. I kind of felt like maybe if I got this, you know, this front side done today, I feel like I accomplished quite a bit. Because I'm going to have to go get a tube here in a little bit at lunchtime. I didn't get here as early as what I would have liked to. And the more I use this, the more I like it. You know, obviously you're going to get used to how it'll take material. But like I said, a lot of times the reason something works really good on an excavator for me is I'm clearing all the underbrush out. That's usually what I go and brush hog anymore. I'm usually clearing all the underbrush out so then I can go in and pull trees or whatnot. Because most of the customers that I tend to get anymore, it seems like they really don't want the stumps. Well, if they don't mind the stumps, if we're going to backfill or something like that, I've got that tree shear. I'll take the OSMA tree shear out and I'll shear the trees. So I really don't need a mulcher on a skid loader for the most part. And like I said, I'm really not super fond of them anymore because they just like to catch your stuff on fire. Alright guys, well, I got all the dirt or all the grass stripped off of this. Probably making you sick spinning around. I couldn't decide where to film from, but I've got all the grass stripped off of that. I'm gonna throw I'm gonna get a load of AB3 first thing in the morning. They can drop it here. I'm gonna roll that pipe up here at the skid loader. I'll have the skid loader tomorrow with me. But first I'm gonna put a little bit of AB3 in there and bed it in, and then that way I can come up here and literally just take the AB3 out of the pile and just push the pile and put it up over the top of the pipe. And then Monday I'm getting dirt. I'll get clay to put in there, and that way we can make it traverse across there and start to build it up to where, you know, at least I can have a parking space, which would be awesome. But today what we got done with the EXH100 heavy flail mower, we started mowing basically in line with this pole or this post, and we mowed up to, well, we mowed up to like right here, a little bit over there, but basically right here to that deal, mowed the, you know, you can kind of see like a line. Oh, it's where that cedar tree is. We mowed kind of to here, kind of to here. We mowed all that inside the trees up to the property line on a lot of it. We pulled a few more trees, and I pulled trees mainly on the other side of the burn pile. But we mulched all this, or mowed, whatever you want to call it, with the flail mower. I've got, you know, I'm down to where I can start pulling all these bigger trees now. I've got all the underbrush out of it. This is still a little thick to get in there with the machine, so I'm just going to scrub it out with the bucket. But I'll pull all these trees. He wants to pull all the trees, unless it's a nice looking something, but there's not a lot of nice looking anythings in here. He doesn't want any hedge. There's a bunch of hedge. That's about all it is hedge. So we're going to pull all these to the fence line and whatnot, but we mulched all this. You can kind of see I kind of went and around this clump of stuff and mowed that way a little bit, but we did all that, and then I went to the back and actually went across the dike that's in there. There's a big dike or dam in there. I went across that and I opened up an area to where I could get in there with the skid loader and the brush hog or whatever without fighting my way in. So it's kind of been a short day, I guess, because we had to go get the tube. And it's a little early right now, but the sun's already going down. As you can see, it gets dark pretty quick. It's getting dark like 4:30, 5 o'clock, 5:30, something like that. I want to try to get that thumb set up on the 75. I think I'm gonna call it Little John. That kind of makes me laugh a little bit. So we're gonna try to get the thumb set up on Little John to where at least I can measure for hydraulic lines, because I'd like to go get lines tomorrow after my AB3 gets here. It's going to be here at about 7:15 in the morning, so I'll get up here before that and get the skid loader off and all that, and then I can throw that baby, get some AB3 in there and get that baby in there and kind of be done with that project. And then we're going to drop the skid loader off and we'll go get lines, and then we'll work on Little John's thumb. So anyways, that's what we got done today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I have some video. I'm really fighting my GoPros. This one started acting up. My GoPro 8 Black, it's never acted up. It was acting up. But my 9, it's kicking a fit. I'm not enjoying it. But anyways, we'll see what happens tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks.